Summary: classic muscle cars, like a 1967 Shelby GT 500 or a 1971 Plymouth Hemi Cuda, are unobtainable for most people. But there are affordable project cars available for those willing to put in the work. Cars like the Dodge Polara, Ford Mustang, Ford Thunderbird, Chevy Nova, Oldsmobile Cutlass, Plymouth Duster, Pontiac Le Mans, and Ford Mustang offer affordable options for muscle car projects. By selecting a less collectible model, year or one, with a smaller engine, and putting in some work, these project cars can be transformed into attention-getting, high-performance rides worth more than what was put into them. A Concours d'Elegance Quality, 1967. Shelby GT 500. Super Snake is a multi-million-dollar car and a rare fully restored 1971 Plymouth Hemi Cuda convertible, sold at auction for $3.5 million. These cars are great if you happen to be a tech billionaire or a recent Powerball winner. But since most people aren't, these are classics that are simply unobtainable. There are, however, some really affordable muscle car projects for those willing to put in the work. Obviously, affordable is a relative term, and any project car, no matter how cheap it starts out as, can turn into a money-sucking black hole. Still, project car implies most of the work will be done in the garage and not outsourced, so a good barn find and some elbow grease should keep the cost down. A little out-of-the-box thinking is helpful too, like picking a less collectible model year, or one originally equipped with a smaller engine. For every top-dollar collectible with a 454, there are literally tens of thousands of low-priced 230s begging for an upgrade. There are also plenty of running and driving cars that just need some TLC. For the price of a decent late-model used car, a spectacular ride can be built from a wisely selected project car. There are many affordable American muscle cars that are perfect projects for an attention-getting kick-ass ride. A Dodge Polara is muscle car, waiting to happen, starting at $1,625. Before everyone goes dropping expletives asking WTF a Dodge Polara is, relax. It's a fast Mopar that hasn't gotten enough recognition. The 4th-gen model came optional with a 440 CIV 8 pack and could hang with Chargers and Coronets. J.D. Power sets the low retail value at $1,625 and the high at $4,625, so it's a 440 Mopar anyone can afford. Specifications and price generation: 4th production, years 1969 to 1973. Production numbers: 359,525 units. Available engines: 225 cubic inch inline 6, 318 cubic inch V8, 360 cubic inch inline 6 V8, 383 cubic inch V8, 400 cubic inch V8, 440 cubic inch V8, used price $1,625, $4,625, 1973. Though they were marketed as a mid-level family car, it doesn't take a wild imagination to see this vehicle as a muscle car with a few style and performance tweaks. The front grille of the 1970 Polara looks too similar to a Barracuda to not be a valid muscle car waiting to happen. A project car isn't just about restoration, but also transformation. Maybe throw on an air grabber hood just for fun. There's nothing foxier than a 3rd-gen Ford Mustang, starting at $3,500. Between 1979 and 1993, $2,603,000. 339 Fox body Mustangs were built. Though not traditionally considered a classic or collectible Ford, they have been gaining in appreciation lately. Due to the sheer volume of vehicles produced, these sweet rides can be picked up for pennies on the dollar, and some in great shape. The low retail price for this generation of Mustang is only $3,500. Specifications and price: generation, third production. Years 1979 to 1993. Production numbers 2,603,339 units. Available engines 2.3-liter I4, 2.8-liter V6, 3.8-liter V6, 4.2-liter V8, 5.0-liter V8. Used price $3,500 to $14,700. 1988. According to Hagerty, the average price for a 1988 Mustang 5.0 GT in fair condition is $8,700. Fair condition means it's mechanically solid, but has wear and tear. Or, in other words, a perfect project car. Tune up that 5.0-liter, slap on a fresh coat of paint, redo the interior, and maybe add some sick rims for a killer budget ride easily worth twice what was put into it. The Ford Thunderbird rises from the ashes, starting at $3,725. Since its introduction in 1955, the Ford Thunderbird had always been a lightweight two-seater sporty car. But then, in 1972, it became a massive land yacht luxury car. Now, the words luxury car don't immediately scream muscle car, but the 6th Gen T-Birds had muscular bodies with long hoods and semi-fastbacks that only need to deluxurized to look cool. Specifications and price: generation, 6th production years, 1972 to 1976. Production numbers 299,146 units. Available engines 400 cubic inch V8, 429 cubic inch V8, 460 cubic inch V8. Used price $3,725 to $15,300. 1972. Pull off the tacky trim, ditch the two-tone paint, and put on some deep shell mags with big fat tires, and suddenly this family car is bitchin' ride. Another thing going for the early 70s Thunderbirds is that they came standard with 400 cubic inch engines and had optional 460 engines. Think about what modern performance parts could do to an old 460 cubic inch V8, and you'll understand why this project car makes sense. The 2nd Gen Chevy that could be a supernova, starting at $4,825. Muscle car collectors are all about the Chevrolet Chevelle, but the Nova is a great lower-priced alternative. Novas had a cool, aggressive stance, and some of them were damn fast, but they were always kind of overshadowed by the other Chevy muscle offerings. The 2nd Gen Novas, made from 1968 to 1974, are plentiful, cheap, and cool-looking. Specifications and price: generation, 3rd production. Years 1968 to 1974. Production numbers 2,036,682 units. Available engines 153 cubic inch inline 4, 230 cubic inch V6, 327 cubic inch V8, 396 cubic inch V8 V8, 402 CEI V8. Used price $4,825 to $24,000. 1974. A 2nd Gen Nova 2-door coupe, no 4 doors please, can be had for as little as $4,825, which leaves plenty of room in the budget to transform it into a beast. Obviously, one this cheap isn't going to a great engine, or even a running one. But this is a project that needs an engine swap. GM Performance sells a 330 horsepower HO 350 CI crate engine for around $5,500, which would be a perfect drop-in. A Dodge Challenger that doesn't challenge the wallet. We started off talking about how expensive a 71 Plymouth Barracuda is, which is essentially the same thing as a first-gen Dodge Challenger, and we'll end with telling you how to get an affordable one for a project. Besides the sad mouth front grille, a 1974 Challenger is exactly the same as a 1971 in terms of body style, but much cheaper. Specifications and price generation. First production. Years 1970 to 1974. Production numbers 165,437 units. Available engines 318 cubic inch V8, 340 cubic inch V8, 360 cubic inch V8, 383 cubic inch V8, 426 cubic inch V8, 440 cubic inch V8. Used price $9,950, $45,700. 1974. The biggest engine available on a 74 was the 360 cubic inch V8, which only made 245 horsepower due environmental detuning. That engine, however, can be rebuilt to maximize its power and performance. It ain't a 426 Hemi or 440, but it would be a matching numbers Mopar that can fly. With used prices starting below 10 grand, a 74 Challenger is the ultimate American muscle car project on a budget. Friends, if you enjoyed, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the Vintage Wheels Chronicles channel so you don't miss any new episodes about retro cars. See you soon!